Hello. So the first skill set I'm going to introduce is breathing. And breathing may seem so simple, and yet it is one of the most direct ways that we can impact our autonomic nervous system. So our autonomic nervous system consists of the sympathetic nervous system, which controls the fight or flight area. So cortisol, dopamine, kind of things that we associate with the stress hormone, and the parasympathetic nervous system, which is connected to like dissociation or calming down of the nervous system. And we want a balanced activation of these two. And both systems are important to have. Like we want stress hormones, like cortisol keeps our heart beating. When we're out on a run, we want a little bit more activation of the sympathetic nervous system. But when one of these systems is too highly activated, that's when we really want to help balance it out. So breathing impacts our heart rate and tells our nervous system, can make a request of our nervous system. So some of the ways that we can calm our nervous system, one type of breath work is called the physiological sigh. So you'll naturally see this in babies. Maybe you've seen a baby teething and just crying, and when they calm themselves down, they'll do a double inhale followed by an exhale. So it looks like what happens with a double inhale is that when we're under stress, the air sacs in our lungs can flatten, and then the exchange of oxygen with carbon dioxide isn't as efficient. This double inhale helps the air sacs inflate and transfers the oxygen, carbon dioxide more efficiently. So let's practice this 3 times now. So we're going to do 2 inhales, and then you want to do a long, slow exhale. I usually do it for about 7 counts. So inhale. Inhale. And inhale. And when you inhale, you can focus on expanding your chest and your core, and even focus on expanding the sides of the rib cage and the back so that you're having everything from your belly button to your chest expand in all directions, and then relax. When you're doing a long exhale, this actually creates more space for your heart. And when there's more space for the heart, it slows down its pumping. So it takes about 25 seconds for there to be a shift in your heart rate. You don't want your heart rate to shift immediately, that would lead to fainting. But about 3 physiological sighs is enough to tell your nervous system that it is okay for your heart rate to calm down. So physiological sigh is the first type of breathing. The next is just a long exhale. And the video went away. Hi, I'm back. Um, a long exhale. So that could be inhaling for 3 and exhale. Let's inhale, 2, 3, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and inhale, exhale. Awesome. And that one is a really easy one to do no matter where you're at. You're in a business meeting, you're in line. One of the therapists I hold really close to my heart, she is 88 now and still practicing, Carolyn Mondras. I was back in the day, I was waiting for a fax to send, and we still use faxes in the healthcare system. Um, and I was frustrated by waiting. And she reminded me there is no such thing as waiting, only time to breathe. And that is something that I've carried with me for a decade now. Anytime I might be a little bit frustrated in line, I'm like, oh, there's no such thing as a line. This is a concept my mind just made up that I'm waiting. I could use this opportunity to connect with my breath, to breathe, to focus on me. So I invite you to try that anytime that you're quote unquote waiting, using it as a chance to breathe. And then the last breath I want to introduce to you is square breathing. It was developed by the military. So it is inhaling for 4 counts, holding your breath for 4 counts, exhaling for 4, and holding for 4. So let's try it together. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4. Last one, inhale, hold, exhale, and hold. And this one, square breathing, sometimes I find that most beneficial for myself and with others under highly stressful events. So, one time that I used that one very frequently was when I was supporting my uncle with terminal cancer. And it was really hard for him to see tears or sadness. So, I do believe it's important to express sadness and tears at some points, but for me, I wanted to be able to support my uncle and meet his requests. So I would do square breathing at the doctor's appointments where he was getting updates that, um, were difficult, were not what we wanted to hear. The physiological sigh, I will say I use that one multiple times a day. So I recently had my first child, and I've seen my resistance to what is pop up more than normal. Maybe I want her to go down for a nap, and it's been 20 minutes, and she is so tired and almost going down to sleep, but just not quite going there. And when I'm resisting that, I notice my breathing is shallow, and of course, she can pick up on what my nervous system is doing. So when have awareness of, oh, I'm resisting what is, I want her to be sleeping and she's not, I connect with the physiological sigh, doing about 3 cycles of that. And she usually falls asleep right away. Um, she's currently teething, and sometimes, when she's crying, it's like, oh, it's so sad to see. And when I'm resisting it, and I'm like, oh, I wish she wasn't crying. I wish she wasn't in pain. I usually notice my breath is shallower. And as soon as I can connect with the physiological sigh, she might not stop crying from teething, but I notice a shift within myself that I can be more fully present there for her and really read what she's needing more clearly and deeply when I connect with that breathing. Maybe it's when engaging with a partner, maybe you're wanting them to be slightly different than what they are. I invite you to see if you can connect with a physiological sigh, and maybe that will invite more compassion on your side or more insight over what they're going through. But our breathing helps regulate our nervous system. And when we're regulated, that we have additional blood flow to our prefrontal cortex, which houses creativity, empathy, and compassion. So when we're a little bit stressed and maybe resisting what is, we are not going to have access to creative, compassionate, empathetic thoughts. So when we regulate our nervous system, all of a sudden we might have more empathy for our partner. We might access more creative solutions to issues that we're facing. And I invite everyone to create a breathing practice for themselves. I know some people that really like doing it 15 minutes every morning and every evening, doing a conscious style of breath. Wim Hof breathing, that one is more to activate the nervous system. So that is a different skill set and tool set than what I'm talking about right now. Today, I'm really introducing breathing to help calm the nervous system and bring it back to that regulated, compassionate state. But maybe your breathing practice is 10 times a day, I'll do 3 physiological sighs. And that might be a lot to begin with. Um, but it could be every time you wash your hands, instead of singing happy birthday. How often do we need to sing happy birthday? You could do physiological sighs. Use that as an opportunity to do 3 physiological sighs. And when you practice connecting to calming breath when you're calm, it's going to be easier to access that breath when you're in a more stressful circumstance. So think of right now how you can incorporate either physiological sighs, that long exhale breathing, or square breathing into your day. Where do you want to add it? Is it when you're washing your hands? Is it every time you walk outside? Could it be while you're driving? Think of a way that you can add it to your schedule. Habit stacking. Where is something that you can add it onto right now so you can begin that practice? Please, if you have any questions and you're not a client of mine, just drop it in the comment section. And if I work with you, please give this a try and let's talk about it during our next section to see how it's going for you. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and I look forward to seeing you soon.